We're back again, and today I'm really excited because I'm not alone again. I'm going to take advantage of this all week long since we have a team retreat for women in Dharma in Vancouver as well as Salt Spring Island soon. So you will be seeing more of than just me in these videos. So today I'm joined by Blair as well as Krista, and we wanted to talk about seasons of friendships. So when you think about different friendships that you have in your life, especially people that you've known for years, sometimes even decades, there can be different ebbs and flows in those relationships. And sometimes you might find yourself drifting apart in those relationships, and it can feel a little sticky and a little yucky of, okay, what do you do in those situations? So for you, Blair, I think you've been through something like this in your life. Can you share a little more?
Yeah, so I found actually when I was in the personal development field, well, I still am, that there was so many shifts in my life, and particularly a shift in my values. So as I noticed that shift, I also noticed that there was that sticky energy in some of my friendships. And so this is something that I'm still finding quite challenging, and I'm really curious to hear what tips both Krista and Megan have for this, because my relationships are deeply important to me. However, I'm still gaining that awareness as to what can best support those different seasons that they do have.
And it's interesting too what you picked up on, Blair, because when we do start a journey of personal growth, so we're becoming more self-aware, we're shifting and we're changing things within ourselves, it can cause a bit of that friction where someone that we've known for so long, they might be thinking to themselves, whoa, you've changed, you're so different. And there can almost be a bit of a judgment attached to that. And yet just know that all that's coming from is that you end up becoming a mirror to that person who's known you for so long, of how you're shifting and changing, and maybe they feel some of that within themselves, but they don't see it yet. And so you end up mirroring to them some of the areas they might want to improve in their life that they're just not there with. And so what do you do? Well, I feel like first and foremost, it's coming from a place of compassion, because everyone is going to have different seasons of their own journeys, especially their own growth journeys. And some people are going to be stuck in certain mindsets and perspectives that you might not agree with, even though you're shifting and changing. And it's to have compassion that you can't force someone to change. You can't force them or drag them across the bridge to do something differently. They really have to choose it themselves. So that to me is a big piece. And then for you, Krista, I feel like you've maintained a lot of friendships in your life. And so what have been the things that have really kept you together through all that?
So it's actually interesting because the simple answer is nothing, in the sense that I feel like this might sound a little funny. I've never really put in the effort, and I admittedly, I don't love texting, I don't love talking on the phone, so I'm not kind of like doing the things. I guess it's just when, and I don't know if you guys have this experience, but with certain people, you can not see each other for a year or 2 years or 3 years. At least that's been my case because I live away from home. And when you get together, it is still the same. Like, you guys have been on your journeys and you've gone through your own things, and at the same time, you can still come together and pick up where you last were.
Yeah. So I feel like an important thing to note there for everybody who's watching this is that it's all about the perspective that you take towards it. So what I heard from you, Krista, is that you take a perspective of like, of course our friendship is like still there and it's still amazing and it's still great. Like, the distance doesn't have to impact that. Whereas I think sometimes we do let the distance get between us in friendships. So if anything, it's just assuming like, yeah, of course everything's great, even though we haven't talked to each other in 6 months, a year, so on. So again, there's lots of different things that you can do about this. And at the end of the day, to me, one of the best possible things, whether it's a loved one, a family member, a friend, is that our role in their life is really just to love them. Bottom line. Love them for who they are, what they bring to the table, regardless of what that is. It doesn't mean that you have to spend every waking moment with them. Your values might change, and it might make more sense to spend less time with them, and that's okay. However, you can still love them deeply for whoever they are and know that they're doing the best that they can with whatever they have in front of them. So on that note, that's our video for today, and we will see you again tomorrow. Bye, everyone.